Awesome. Well, welcome everyone to Backstage Pass. You know who I am. So we're here to do interesting, unscripted things, and hopefully this is going to inspire you for the next 60 minutes. We're going to take you behind another interesting teamwork session. We encourage you to say hello in the chat, like many of you have already done, and also use a QA panel to ask questions as we go. And it's our goal to help you gain confidence in using Mural in all sorts of use cases. And with Mural Backstage Pass, we're just broadcasting this work as it happens. It's unscripted, and we hope that this inspires you to use your facilitation superpowers in new ways with your teams. To help you get the most from today's session, Haley and I will maybe pause from time to time if we see a best practice or a particular feature that we want to call attention to. But for the most part, we're just going to see the activity unfold as we go. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to DJ Haley Hay.
Yes, I love that. I'm sorry, I'm trying to give myself a Lila bun. That's what I'm up to. And yeah, do you mind turning the music down for me?
Yeah.
Because my voice doesn't carry nearly as well as yours.
There you go. We'll just...
Thank you so much. Awesome. Yeah, hi everybody. Thanks for joining us today from all over the world. Love seeing our global community come together. And today I'm wearing shades because, well, I don't want to see the screen obviously, but also because we're talking about energizers and warm-ups. And so I told our team to think about bringing the energy, and I was thinking about, I live in sunny California. It's I wanted to have my shades to be prepared. So I'm gonna actually take this off so I can see you guys. Hi. That's better. I don't recommend using that for your sessions, but yeah, today we wanted to show you guys some warm-ups and energizers that you can use using Mural, not using Mural, whatever you need to do to get people comfortable working together, comfortable with the technology. And I'm gonna go ahead really quickly and share my screen to show you guys what we're gonna do. Here we go. So there we go. And I promised that rather than just kind of going through a bunch of different warm-ups and energizers and stuff, we wanted to give you guys the opportunity to choose what we showed you today. So we're going to use Mentimeter, which is an awesome polling tool to do that. Let me bring this over here. So to do that, team, and nobody here, hey Gino, nobody knows what warm up or energizer we're going to do. I don't even know what we're going to be doing, but what we need you guys to do right now from where you are in the world is go to menti.com. Yeah, there we go, menti.com. Type in this code right here, 912884, and choose one of these warm-ups for us to do as a team. And if you don't know which one of these we have a really great blog post that Lila wrote about warm-ups and energizers and the templates that accompany them. And Mark, if you don't mind dropping that in the chat, that would be that'd be helpful, just in case people need a reference.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I was in Hawaii for a moment there. You want the link to all the warm-ups and energizers, right?
Correct, Amunda. Thank you.
Got it.
Thanks for admitting. So just for context, so we say, you know, when we start a meeting, sometimes we say, pick an exotic place. And, you know, maybe Mark's most recent vacation or exotic place he was thinking was Hawaii. And if you are distracted in a meeting, you can admit it and just be like, you know, sorry, I was in Hawaii. Where are we? And that's a great way to just kind of be like, yep, we get distracted. It happens, and get back in. It's a more graceful way.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully you guys can see the results coming in live. Too many cooks is coming up as a big one. But I want to give another few minutes for people to log on and vote.
Do you want to describe them in more detail, or are people just deciding based on the title?
Yeah, that's true. So, all right. So yeah, Sketch Your Neighbor is an exercise where you have to use Mural's sketching draw capabilities to draw somebody. It's pretty funny. Where are we? We use a map tool, in Mural, and you can map yourself there where you are and something you like about the location. And then Too Many Cooks is about food, of course, but guessing who posted what photo of food and what's in the recipe. So, and yeah, thanks, Lila. I'll make sure for the next one, before I give people the voting capability to explain it.
Just looks like a lot of people are hungry here. They're just
yeah. All right, so it looks like the overwhelming winner here is Too Many Cooks. So let's go back over to, let me just go to this mural right here. I have multiple tabs open, which I don't usually do, but here we go. I'll combine them. That makes it a lot easier. All right, team. So I am going to invite you guys into this mural. And I'm going to use the anonymous link because it's supposed to be kind of like a guessing game.
Cool.
And go to the chat. And while we're going, and Mark mentioned earlier, we are going to be sharing like best practices and instructions and stuff like that. So please feel free to put something in the Q&A and in the chat, even if you have your own advice for warm-ups and energizers. That's a great thing to know too. All right.
Great. And if you have supplemental tools, things like, you know, we're using Mentimeter more and more, but there are other tools out there. And I think in one of our webinars recently, I found a kind of a Wheel of Fortune thing online, and I used it to pick topics with a webinar we did with Mickey McManus. It was kind of fun. So if you have suggestions for other fun things you found that can add, you know, an interesting way to select a topic or an interesting way for people to participate, we'd love to hear about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, please. All right, so let's start off with Too Many Cooks, team. And let me see. All right, so basically, oh, you guys joined it, that's okay. What we're gonna do is, usually in this exercise, you would ask people to give their photos of something they've cooked recently in advance. But I did not do that because I didn't know we were gonna be doing it today. Totally fine. And I knew that. Lila was like, are you sure? And which is totally okay. So what I'm gonna ask you to do instead is I'm gonna give you 1 minute. And in that time, I want you to either get a photo of something you did cook, maybe if you are one of like those foodies who takes pictures of your food, or if not, you can use this Google, or I think it's Bing, but an image search in Mural and type up a dish that you recently cooked and drag it in. So I see one of us already put in this like tasty looking dish, but basically drag it in. And after that, we will guess who made it and the ingredients. Does that make sense?
Sounds good.
It does.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
The one thing I would add to that, Haley, is if people, so not everybody's, most people are anonymous, which is great. But if people are not anonymous, like the people at Mural, if we would right click on an image, we could see who had added it, which is why, just to clarify, which is why the picture would be sent in advance to the facilitator, and then they would just to clarify.
So no cheating, basically.
So no cheating, basically. Yeah, don't right click.
Nice. Oh, and I like someone's sketching right now, which is amazing. Sketching, and they're like, by the way, it's meatloaf. All right, I'm gonna put the timer on. Wow, do we have people from the audience in here too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I released the Kraken on this one, darn it. Okay, I don't know. Let's see how this goes. All right.
There are too many cooks.
That's right. You wanted too many cooks. We have 121 people here.
All of the flipping cooks in the kitchen. Oh my God. Okay, maybe what I'll need to do to designate our Mural teammates, I'm gonna improv a little bit.
The Mural people can move it to a different part of the mural. Yeah. I just stretched it. We can be in the right-hand corner.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, yeah, so muralers, if you can put yours in the top right corner and the rest of the crew, keep adding your your pictures. I love these sketches too. Anybody who wants to use a drawing tool,
I'll, I'll bet
please.
that's Jay. I'll bet that's
And
Jay.
honestly, if you want to use your cursor, that's even better. That's honestly
cool.
like more fun to see, like these weird little like 2-year-old sketch photos. All right, so thank you guys who have joined in and
Oh, Lisa,
participated.
nice meatloaf.
Oh, hey, Lisa. Wonderful. Thanks for joining. Okay, so team, I think this one is part of it as well. All right, so let's go to this photo first. First, I want to ask, like, what do we think, team, are the ingredients in this delicious dish, and what is this dish, if we were to say?
Gosh, I would have to guess that's a serious kebab.
Yeah, I was going to say, in English, you can call it, I guess, like a skewer, but I also call it a kebab.
Mm-hmm.
Although kebab is technically meat, right? Usually.
Right. Yeah.
But I would call it kebab as well. I'm happy I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I would call it a kebab. All right, what looks like it's in there?
A skewer sounds so fancy. Having
skewer.
a skewer of.
All right, and around that, let's type in some of the ingredients we're seeing on sticky notes. So yeah, thanks Mark for kicking that off. So we see some green onion. I think I see some pineapple. It looks like there's chicken. It's in, by Argentine standards, this is vegetarian.
Might as well be a salad.
Yeah.
That's chicken
I was
is
hoping
vegetarian.
it would be tofu and not chicken.
Okay, yeah, we can, for Lila and I are vegetarians, so yeah, it would be hopefully tofu.
Actually, it kind of looks like it could be fish. It's a very white meat.
Those are onions.
Oh, those are. I know that. I saw that. I just thought there's some of these. They could be scallops.
All right, now who do we think had this meal recently?
Somebody who's not vegetarian. Stefan just joined. Did he already? I don't know if he. Maybe I would say Stefan or Gino.
I think it's someone. I mean, someone who has access to a grill.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's Daniel. And yeah, Daniel's vegan. So yeah, I'm gonna say Stefan.
Me too. I'm gonna say Stefan.
All right, who was it?
It was me.
Okay, let's do another. Oh my gosh, this looks really good. All right, what dish? And I'm gonna summon you guys, by the way, so you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. What is this? What do we think, guys?
Like a pho or something? Like an Asian spicy.
Yeah, what's that?
Looks spicy. Looks like I think it's like a red curry.
Is that
like
a little ice cream at the bottom? What is that thing? This ice cream.
A flower bouquet ice cream. It's what dreams are made of. I made green Thai curry this week. It was real good, but that wasn't mine.
Wait, well, we got moved here.
All right, yeah,
here.
I'll send it to best the back. Practice. Sorry, lock it down.
I see mushrooms.
All right, mushrooms. I see green onion. Yep.
Wasn't it chives or?
Onions.
Are chives and green onions the same?
They're slightly different. Chives are usually like super thin in diameter.
Okay.
Oh, they're the very thin ones. You're right. Is that then the?
I'm sorry. What was that kernel of knowledge? Do you know?
I was saying no. It's definitely not kernel of knowledge. I was just saying they're like the version of green onions.
There you go.
I have only green onions. I never ever have chives.
Do you guys in the U.S. do you call them green onion or spring onion?
Green.
Green.
I'm just using European English right here. Spring onion, skewers.
Skewers.
You're elevating our dialogue.
Let me see what Shakespeare would call it.
Daniel's putting like icons for everything too. So like coconut. I think it's Daniel. Coconut milk would be in here. Yeah.
Spices.
Curry paste.
Spices.
Maybe some red pepper flakes. Nice. All right. Who do we think had this?
I'm gonna say it's Daniel, because I've eaten with him. I've eaten like this exact kind of food with Daniel before in Berlin.
And he like knows a lot of the ingredients that are going into this too.
I know, he's like, I don't know, possibly coconut milk.
That was
That's
actually
what
me.
I would put in. Was it you, Mark?
Yeah, it's like it's got to have a coconut milk base. It's like the.
Oh.
Uh,
All right. But do you think it was? Who do you think? So anyone else think anyone else made
I think
it?
he's laughing because he's owning up.
Oh, okay.
He just can't keep it together anymore.
Stefan, who do you think made it or ate this dish or made it?
I would say Daniel.
All right. Who was it?
It was.
Yeah.
It's a red coconut curry.
Oh my God.
Looks
that
so
sounds
awesome.
So good. All right. Let's do. Just checking time. Let's do. One more quick one. All right. Waffles. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Ingredients.
Let me think about it.
Also, do you guys eat pancakes? Are you team pancakes or team waffles?
We eat crepes. Europe.
Pressed crepes.
Crepe.
With the nectar from a maple tree. Calories. All right. Who do we think had this dish this week?
I'm going to say it's either Haley or Chris.
See, I was going to say Gino because I know Gino likes a good pancake. So I feel like maybe he
I also thought of Gino.
But if I like pancakes, why would I have waffles? Waffles are, I feel like, an extra step.
Didn't you just say you were team waffles?
Yeah.
You outed yourself. I think it was you. Any other guesses? So me, Gino. Who else did we say?
I said you or Chris, just because you look like you have a sweet tooth. And Chris is being very quiet, so I'm always very suspicious of people who are
pretzels are your thing.
quiet.
Okay. All right. Who was it?
Who was it? I don't know. Who was it?
For those of you who can't see, Gino made his background waffle.
Well played.
Nice work.
We have a request from Sandy Lamb. She asked if we could turn on the new render engine.
Ooh, okay. Yes, it's in beta right now.
There's only the Murally workspaces, right?
Yes, but I think here we go. Good thing I don't have to show my password. Totally wouldn't be compliant. All right, so here we go. Ooh, and look at Lisa made this awesome sketch.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's a New Yorker cartoonist, so we have pretty awesome drawing skills up in here.
So
Fancy.
great.
All right, well, thank you guys. This is Too Many Cooks. Do we have any other questions from the audience about this or suggestions?
You gotta click the lightning bolt to turn on the engine.
Oh, thank you. That was not me trying to like play. I literally didn't know that. All right. Ooh.
Can you explain what the lightning bolt does for people who just haven't seen it before?
Oh, yeah. Everybody else.
No, you go.
I would say that's the way that you can turn on the rendering engine if you are part of in the beta. So it doesn't automatically turn on the new rendering engine, so you can toggle between both of them.
Yeah, and the rendering engine, by the way, is to boost performance for Mural, so it makes it really smooth. You can see it's just this nice buttery experience, scanning and scrolling, and of course for big meetings and sessions where you have lots of content, like lots of food, it's a lot smoother. Anything else?
We do have two more questions. One from Anna saying, I'm wondering if you can do this exercise with other topics such as people's pictures and bio blurbs instead of food ingredients. The short answer is absolutely yes. I've done it with, for example, what was your first job? And then people put pictures of like where they worked for the first time. Or we've done it with that one that you're showing now is Blast from the Past. So we upload photos of ourselves as kids, and then we have to guess who is that kid. So we'll share the link again to this blog post.
That's awesome.
Layla, we're doing one on Monday for what's your COVID avatar?
Oh,
Ooh.
nice. Okay, never done that. And then we have a question, I think it was from Lisa. She said, too many cooks is fun, but what is the point? So for today, we are actually just showing how you can do online warm-ups and energizers to have fun, because a lot of people tend to have meetings that are not engaging, and you know, they'll start with an agenda or maybe not even that, and then it's super awkward and people, you know, don't know how to connect online. So the whole point of today's Backstage Pass is to show how we can get people engaged and kind of loosen up a little before having a meeting.
And I think too, to add to that definitely is, you noticed we had to, people in this meeting had to use Mural features to participate, right? So we had to use drag in images, learn how to add sticky notes, add icons. So it's actually the kind of a sneaky way to also get people who don't know the tool involved in using it in a really low risk way.
Yeah, and the other fun thing is if you're having people from all over the place or the team, or maybe it's even with your clients, you actually get to know them better. So you are building some kind of relationship in a visual way. But I have maybe assumptions about Gino because I don't know him too well. So it allows me to discover more about Gino, but I definitely know Daniel better because we've spent more time together. So it's kind of fun to see who you know and who you don't know that well in a distributed team.
All right.
So the other thing is just, Lila, I'd love to hear when you've run this thing before, you know, there's, we're talking about energizers in the context of generating energy. And so people participate, and then there's a way to kind of bring it to a close. And that sometimes is where people struggle is, oh, now do I just now transition straight into share the agenda and get into the work or the workshop? Or how do you actually bring this thoughtfully to a close, this particular exercise? What might you do?
Well, I would share an agenda. I would have it written down and share my screen probably and say, okay, this is what we're going to do today. And I would time box all the activities. So I would say, we're going to spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And we didn't do that now, but I would put the timer on and let people know, like, this is what we're going to do for the next 10 minutes. And I would have a layout ready beforehand. So in this case, it's a bit different because we asked our audience today to vote. So we didn't prepare a layout, but and we're very fast and nimble with using Mural because we are working at Mural. But if you're not used to this, then I would definitely suggest preparing the layout or using one of our templates beforehand.
I was just curious also, like for each warm-up, sometimes there is either it provokes an insight or there's a lot of humor or there's something. In this one, it seems like there's an opportunity, you know, to do something like just invite. So if you're interested in one of these recipes, now we know who does it, maybe follow up after the meeting. And so you put some type of like close conceptually on it before you move into the next thing. I was just wondering.
Sometimes you might also, you could follow up with a recipe. You could follow up in an email afterwards, or just kind of wrap. Depends on what you're sharing.
Right. All right, cool.
Thank you. All right, well, in the interest of time, I want to make sure we also get to an Energizer.
Also these like check-in and check-out questions to wrap things up.
Yeah. Sorry, they like paused for a second, so that's why I started talking. Didn't mean to talk over you.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It happens. Oh, and someone just asked really quickly, they want to know how to lock an image, because in that moment where we were kind of putting ingredients around this, I said, okay, well, let's lock it down. And that's a great best practice to do in meetings. So for example, this is unlocked, and I'm going to click that image and then right click, or you can do like hold the control button and you get this pop-up menu. And since I have the facilitator superpowers in this, and now I can click any member can unlock or only facilitators. And so I'm gonna lock it down just for facilitators. I also wanted to highlight, we have this awesome new feature coming out soon where you can save elements to a content library. So if you have something you wanna use in some meetings and then reuse it for upcoming sessions, you can do that as well. All right, thanks guys. Let's head on over to the next part of the poll, which is Energizers. So I don't want to have us vote yet. I'm just checking what we did. So Touch Blue, GIF tournament, and Broken Picture Telephone. All right, so Touch Blue, just to give you guys some context before you vote, is kind of like a game where I would say, for example, go touch something. No, don't go find something in your house that's blue. And people have to kind of get up and run to find something around them that's blue. And the last person to do that, do they lose? I don't know. Like it's just like a good get up and move around game. GIF tournament is I give a phrase to people and they have to find a GIF that represents that phrase. It's fun just teaching people how to bring GIFs in and getting creative. And we vote on which GIF represents it the most. It's kind of like apples to apples if you've ever played that game. And then Broken Picture Telephone is a sketching game that you use mural drawing capabilities to sketch a message basically that you get from somebody else in the chat. And with that, I'm going to present this. So once again, for those of you in the audience, go ahead and use menti.com and this code.
Haley, I'm just gonna add something. So somebody was asking us, why are we using Menti rather than the voting feature in Mural to let people vote on what they want us to do? I spoke for you, but maybe you want to add your own thoughts. I mentioned that the voting feature in Mural is not exactly like a live poll. So you can vote on something, but you would only see the results at the end. And what I think is different with Menti is that it has a specific poll feature and it shows you live how those are changing and everybody can see that. Yeah,
and also to get the audience to vote, I didn't want to have everybody have to come into the mural to cast a vote. To do that. And then I was going to use the Zoom polling, but honestly, I was locked out of the services account last night when I was going to make this poll. So I went to Mentimeter.
That's right. The other thing I like about it is it's very low level of entry. You could do this from a phone, Android device, from anything. All you need is a browser, smart enough phone that you can get a browser on it and that code. And the input mechanism is super lightweight, so you can even be over a really atrocious Wi-Fi and still participate.
Mm-hmm.
So as a way to include people that might not have the horsepower in front of them to join Mural. And there's a lot more than just the polling. There's word clouds and things that I frequently do. What comes to mind when I say the word whatever, and then it can build word clouds and you can screen capture that and throw that into the Mural as a record of group sentiment. That's really interesting. So lots of ways it's optimized to do these kind of large group interactive components, but then the results you can drop into the Mural easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So low level of entry for participants. You can use it through different devices, and we've had some people say the animation stuff is pretty cool. You can see the stuff bouncing as you vote, which is fun. All right, so the people have spoken. Dun dun dun. And we're gonna play Broken Picture Telephone. So let me go. So we do have a template for this, and it's in the blog for this Warmths and Energizers, but I'm going to make a mural from this template. And let me see. I'm going to get this anonymous link and invite panelists, this time just panelists, I swear, into this mural. And now what I'm going to do is give everybody, I'm going to give everybody a number. And Lisa, I'm just sending it to you right now. So Lisa's going to keep sketching for us. I'm going to give everybody who is participating in this a number. And that will be your number for like person 1, 2, 3, 4. So Daniel, you're going to be 1. Lila, you're going to be 2. Gino, 3. Stefan, 4. Who else do we have? I'm just looking. Mark, 5.
Sure.
Okay. Everyone know their number. Thumbs up if you have your number, because I don't really know your number. I just completely did that randomly.
I don't have one, Haley.
Oh my gosh, sorry, Chris. 6.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I was like, okay, I think I got everyone on the row. All right,
Hang on a
Chris
second.
is 6.
I was answering a question, so I need someone to Slack me the link so I can get in there. I thought I had
Yeah,
the link.
yeah, no worries. All right, so here we go. All right, so for those of you guys who are new to Mural, anonymous links, people will join as an anonymous animal. So we have a turtle, a ladybug, a seahorse, a shark, a spider, and a cow. All right, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm going to send a direct message to person number 1, who is Daniel. And I might need your help describing this, Lila. I've actually never done this before. And Daniel's gonna sketch something. No, Daniel makes the phrase, right?
Daniel makes a phrase, he's number 1, and I do the drawing based on what he writes.
All right, okay, and then, okay. So, you know, the game telephone where you have to like whisper down the lane, now we're using sketches to do that. So Daniel, type a phrase just to Lila in the chat on Zoom. And yeah, for those of you who are working in the mural, make sure you go back to looking at the shared screen, because we are no longer on that mural. We're on a completely different one.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. I got a message from Daniel, so I'm gonna draw it.
All right. I'm gonna give you a minute to do it.
Thank you. Let me just see it again. All right.
All right,
Okay.
1 minute and go.
All right. All right. All right.
You can use icons and stuff too. Oh,
yeah, I'm gonna use colors. So I'm gonna try to be creative. Can you see it live as I'm drawing?
Yep.
Great. So you see the transformation here. Maybe this is, and then I can use icons, right? I'm allowed?
Yes. I'll say yes for this one.
Thank you, because this was gonna otherwise take too long to do.
Yeah, yeah. And then for those of you, yeah, I realized, so if you're new to Mural and new to watching Backstage Pass, you guys were in the Mural in your web browser, but go back to your Zoom application, because that's the window where you're gonna watch us doing the sketch. So I recommend like closing your web browser if that's too many things on your screen.
No, that's not what I wanted to do.
Correct. So yeah, we're watching now rather than playing. And what I'll do, actually, I realize that people like to participate in this. I'm gonna give people in the audience a chance to join and guess what the sketch is.
That's my beautiful sketch. I'm done. My time is up.
Time is up. Okay, so Gino, now you have to look at this picture and direct message your interpretation of it to Stefan.
You know what we could do is put some sticky notes with people's names at the top. I'll do that.
So those of you who are joining as anonymous users, I'm gonna ask you to follow me, and you can put sticky notes around.
It has to be a phrase, so don't just say like a few words. It's a whole phrase.
It's a whole phrase, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Key.
Yeah. Thank you for
Okay.
Thank you for co-facilitating, Lila.
No worries. It's a lot.
The whole phrase.
All right. And Stefan, do you have the phrase? Gino is taking a moment.
I was ready to go and then I had to pivot.
I'm sorry.
I mean, when I say a phrase, it can be a descriptive phrase. It's not like an expression. It
doesn't like a Shakespearean poem, Gino.
No. Like, what do you see? What is it? What's happening?
Done.
Okay. And so now what do I do?
So now you are in that white space below. I'm going to give you 1 minute to sketch what the interpretation of what Gino sent you in a message.
Sorry, in what space? In this box right here?
In this
Yeah,
white
in your
box right
white
here.
box.
Okay. Draw or sketch? Okay.
Yeah. Ready? 1 minute, go. And I see someone made this, while he's doing that, made this big old Post-it. So I'm going to go resize that. Now it's normal size. And for those of you who are in here, maybe you're new to Mural, it's welcome, first of all. Glad you're here. Yeah, you can resize Post-its. Also, if you're saying, I can't really see, it's too small, simply zoom in. That's the best way to make something more visible. And if you're having trouble zooming in and out, it might be because you're using a trackpad or a mouse and it's on the wrong settings. So I'm just showing right here how to change your zoom settings in Mural.
Yeah, what's interesting to point out though is, of course, Stefan can see my drawing, and for now it may look similar, but sometimes the person isn't necessarily looking at what the person before drew. They really have to draw what the other person, what a third person interpreted.
Right.
And sometimes there's massive differences, or just it can be a small detail that is weird.
All right, time is up. So pencils down, Stefan. And now, Mark, you have to look at just Stefan's image and type in your interpretation of that image to Chris. Right? Yeah, I think Chris is,
Got it. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to Zoom. Chris, I got you set up privately, and
then for those of you who are in the audience, you can, I see some anonymous snail already here, type in what you think. What's the phrase or the interpretation that you have for this image right here?
It is a phrase. That's what I will say. Like, it's a sentence.
Yeah.
So think about a sentence. Like, the more descriptive you are, the more detailed you are, the more likely you are to guess the whole sentence that Daniel sent originally.
And I see the anonymous lion, by the way, if you want to add a sticky note, just double click on, ooh, hello, someone made that nice and big. Double click on the mural to make a sticky note.
Yeah, maybe we need to lock down that.
It is locked.
I wonder. I wonder if what's happening is if that's like the last thing you've touched, then it creates that automatically.
Right. It's like, oh, you want a giant white sticky notes? I'll do that.
Or go to the toolbar and grab a sticky note and.
Yeah, rather than double click, just go to the toolbar on the side here. Like you can see on my screen I'm doing. I'm going to erase that one, that big white one. There we go. There we go. Okay. Mischief managed.
I'm surprised it's a sticky note and not just a square shape.
And
We should change
Yep.
Chris, are you ready to sketch?
I am attempting to sketch, but my iPad locked up, of course, as I was trying to do it.
Of course.
That really helped me loads.
Well, now you get to draw with your mouse like the rest of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I was going to be smart, but no, now I'm trying to draw with a magic mouse and I've got nothing. So.
We appreciate your talents that you're going to bring to us today.
You can use icons.
Yeah, you can use icons too.
Chris, you can use icons or
would be
a photo
great.
Or an image. You can Bing search. I was going to say Google search.
I know. I
search your image.
Chris,
Yeah,
do you want a little more time?
Thank you.
Okay.
No, I'm completely locked up, guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even for icons and stuff?
Yep. I just totally crashed myself. Hold on, let me try it again. Nope. Totally crashed.
Okay. No problemo. So why don't you tell us, that's okay, tell us what Mark told you as a phrase.
And I think that's a really good thing that happens sometimes as a facilitator. Aha, I've managed to grab an image. So Mark said it was a teddy bear fishing in the river.
Okay.
So actually that's what the yellow sticky notes below are for, Haley.
Oh.
So you see there's a part 2. Sorry, maybe because I made this template. If you follow me, I shall summon. No, I can't summon. I'll be asked to be followed.
Okay.
So the way you do it is, see there's a part 2.
Yeah.
So when part 1 is completed, write your original description, the sticky note below. So here, where I am right now, Daniel would write what he initially told me. So, and then we would look at that. We would compare my drawing, and then we'd go along the whole thing and fill in the yellow sticky notes. So Daniel, if you follow me, you've got a yellow sticky note there, just for Daniel, no anonymous people.
Nice.
There we go.
All right, and I'm summoning everybody. So we see Lila's drawing. And yeah, it looks like people who guessed, yes, people are saying specifically salmon, but got pretty spot on, Lila. Good job.
I guess because he said up the stream, that's why I was like, there's arrows to show that they're going upstream and not downstream.
Yeah.
And why I drew my river going upwards.
All right. Gino, what was the phrase that you got? You type that in there.
Whoever's editing, here, we'll just move that, I guess.
Is that it? What, the majestic salmon? Did you type that?
I did type that. I typed majestic salmon swimming upstream to be caught by bears.
That's what he interpreted, right? That's what he
okay.
The fish swimming up the stream, and then it's like, it's a whole phrase. So I was like, oh, is there something I'm not missing? And we just ran out on Lila, I don't know.
We gave you like stage fright. Nice. Okay.
I also want to make it hard on Stefan to draw a bunch of stuff. So
yeah,
that's fun.
All right. Nice. And I'm just gonna move this box over here. So we see Stefan's wonderful drawing. I mean, I got the bear.
That's impressive. That was done in 5 seconds.
I know.
On the Apple mouse. This is my drawing tool. I don't have a more advanced drawing tool, so
that's awesome.
Mode is very limited compared to some of the tools that Mark has showed in the past. So.
Oh yeah, Chris is showing she has a pen.
The pencil works really well when it works.
Yeah.
And that's a problem in chair, not in computer.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, that's cool how just like that simple little ears, like that's what made it the bear. All right. So Mark, what was the description that you took from that? Would you give
from that? That I gave to Chris was teddy bear slapping its lunch from the river.
Nice. And then, yes, ideally, of course, yeah, Chris is saying, of course, now it works. That's happened to me too, where you're like prepared and you're almost ready, and then when it's your time, of course, something happens. But all right, that is all in all, Broken Picture Telephone. And I deeply appreciate you guys for coming along this ride with me, learning this kind of as I go. And then Lila for supporting me with this one. But any questions or anything?
Yeah, I was going to say, when and why would you use this? Like, what are the advantages of this as a warm up? Because it's linear, sequential, and it seems to take time to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I actually thought of this for a workshop, and the workshop was about, well, I still do them sometimes, training other people how to work remotely. And I talk about culture and I talk about collaboration, but I also talk about communication. So this is an exercise I did for that workshop to show people the importance of communicating very well online with your teammates when you're working remotely. Because what happens is if you're not being specific enough, whether it's, especially if it's in text, then you're leaving a lot of space for interpretation. So really effective distributed teams tend to do a lot of writing and documentation, and it tends to be a lot more descriptive. And people who are not used to working remotely, they're not that descriptive, and then there's more misunderstandings. So this was like a fun way to show it before I even introduce the topic.
That's
and
great.
So then the bottom part, what you see is second round. It's like, oh, you've learned, like, what did you learn? So then the second round you do it, and then you actually do it better.
Yeah, I love that. So the intent is specific. So if I could reflect back, it sounds like this is ideal for teams that maybe are a mix of co-located and remote, and you're exposing communication styles, and it might go into a really good kind of process improvement or team collaboration session where that mindfulness could be carried powerfully into better outcomes for the workshop.
Yes, absolutely. And then, today we're kind of slowing it down a little, and we had a lot of external people participating and moving things around or doing giant sticky notes. But if you're working with a team that is maybe already a little bit more familiar with Mural, and we only have 6-7 people on the call, it would actually go much faster. I would give you 30 seconds to write the sentence, 1 minute to draw, it'd go pretty fast. So it would be more of an energizer and less of a long exercise.
Nice. Any other questions even from our crew here on using this exercise or introducing it? Anything else from the audience?
No, getting some good feedback. People think it's a fun, real way to simulate the frustrations and challenges. So question about using Mural to work several different breakout groups at the same time. So that's another interesting one. If this were smaller sub cohorts of 5, yeah, you could have 3 or 4 of these going. You just want to be using a video conference tool that has breakouts. So as a facilitator, you could check in and make sure you have a conversation lead, someone queued up that can help keep the ball rolling in each of the individual rooms. And then I might suggest as a last step at the end of the exercise, really frame up what, after the first pass, what were some of the thorns, or what were some of the things that really broke down, and then on the second pass have a highlight or 2 of the things that were improved, and then that could be the share out from the breakout back to the group, and you could come back kind of ready to have that next conversation that Lila was suggesting. Yeah,
no, that's a great point. That I'm honestly, it's one of the most important part of doing more than doing the activity itself is the debrief and talking through some of those things with the group, and what happened and what it was challenging, and round 2, how did you improve? So
I think, sorry to add to that, Haley,
no,
also what this does is it helps you toggle between several tools at the same time. So if you're using an instant messaging tool like Slack internally, now, Daniel sent me messages on Zoom, and I think most of us did that, but otherwise you would be switching between Zoom, Mural, and Slack. Yeah. To send each other messages, to look at what people are look at people's faces, to look at what's happening on the Mural. So that's the reality, right, of working online, is that you're toggling a lot. And then in Mural, this forces people to use the different features as well, like icons and drawing and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, I want to be mindful of time. We have a little bit more time, so I wanted to give my team here an option and show kind of how the voting tool works in Mural. So I made 2 sticky notes here for us to vote on, and so the option is to do a round 2 of this game, or to do a really quick GIF tournament activity. So how this is going to work is I'm going to start a voting session. And say, I don't know which one you guys want to do next. And I'm going to give everyone 1 vote. And I'm going to give you 30 seconds to cast your vote, okay? Ready? And go.
You can drop down the voting list so people can see.
Yes. So
this is, for facilitators, you can just get a sense of who's voting, who might need a little bit of a nudge. And also, some people that might be new to this or need some additional coaching, or or if it really hangs up, then you want to keep an eye on the chat and see if someone asking questions like I'm stuck, or what do I do?
All right, so we got our votes, GIF tournament. I love GIF tournament. It's so fun. So let's do a quick one. I'm just gonna can I extend this? No, it's as big as it goes. Okay, no worries. So I'm just gonna move this stuff over and we're gonna use this space here to do gift tournament. So let me summon everyone. So the way gift tournament works is I'm gonna give you a phrase and you have to find a GIF to basically express that phrase, so your interpretation of that phrase. And the way that you find a GIF is you can either go to giphy.com or, and yeah, I say GIF. If you say GIF, that's fine. I just think you're crazy. Is you can search something in the image search and just add GIF at the end, GIF. So I can say like funny or like excited GIF, and then drag it onto the mural right here. And so once I give you that phrase, I'm going to give you 30 seconds, don't overthink it, to find a GIF, drag it on, and I'll tell you what to do next after that. But does that make sense?
Makes sense.
All right, so let me think. Lila, do you have a phrase, or I came up with a good phrase. Like I looked up phrases right now.
Go for it if you have one.
All right. Let me see. Let's say, all right, the phrase is, I know it's pronounced GIF. I know Alexis Ohanian made it and he pronounces it GIF, but I say GIF. I know, I'm sorry. So the phrase is beat around the bush. All right, and I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to look up a GIF for that. Ready, team?
Ready.
All right. Go. I love this GIF. Someone throwing me so much shade right now about my pronunciation. So, and for those of you, I looked up, if you're not sure about what phrase, this doesn't have to be a random phrase. It can be something related to your topic or exercise or the meeting goal. So to get people kind of focused, and all like really good for thinking about how people interpret a phrase that you need to kind of break down too. All right, so 30 seconds is up. We have, I'm just gonna put our collection of GIFs. That sounds weird. That's peanut butter over here. And now what we're gonna do is, and yeah, some pictures are private and that's why they're showing us picture not available. So we just don't have access to them. So here are all of the GIFs. And now what we're gonna do as a team is just take a look. I'm gonna summon you guys just so you can see all of them right now. And I'm gonna give you guys, well, I'm gonna pause for a second so you can do that. All right, now, yeah, go ahead, Lila.
No, just I'm annoyed because I'm trying to put in a GIF since a while and it doesn't want to go in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see there's like a black box, might be a sticky note though. Now I'm gonna give everybody one vote to choose the one that they think represents this phrase, beat around the bush, the best. All right. And you'll see you get a pop-up for a voting session. So everybody, you're gonna click on the GIF that you think represents this phrase the best. And I love the George Bush one.
The shoe, I gotta admit, I gotta give him props for ducking out of the way of that shoe when that guy threw it. I remember seeing that on TV. I was like, all right, he's got moves.
And by the way, also, if you decide like, oh, I accidentally clicked on the wrong one, if you hold down Shift and press where you voted again, you can deselect. All right, I'm gonna see where people are. Those of you in the audience, you can also click and vote.
Yeah, I'm also going to do a call. I put the typical feedback request in chat, but I'll remind people feedback is really important to us, and And we understand this was a bit of a loose session. Some of them are more structured, some of them are less structured. But we'd love to hear from you, and we read all the feedback that you give. So we'd love in the chat if you could give us a number from 1 to 10 around your satisfaction, 1 being low, 10 being high, and why. You know, what was something that stood out, or something you appreciated about this, or something that was missing, or something that was unclear that affected your satisfaction. So if you could just go ahead and add that into the chat window, and we read through that and use that to inform and try and make these sessions as strong and fun and worthwhile as possible.
Yeah, we really appreciate it a lot. All right, so I'm going to end the voting session, and the winner is our George W. Right over here. Wonderful. All right, and it's great. You can see the other ones that got the top vote. So the George Bush Avoiding Shoe is a great one. Our little Rolling Tiger got one too. So again, this is, Lila, if you want to share kind of what was your inspiration or thought for this one.
This one's just a really fun and easy one. I think, you know, with warm-ups is what I know that you and Mark said many times, like, what is a share out? What is a thing? Like, sometimes there is no share out. It's just like, guys, let's just have fun and make it colorful and crazy. And so this falls in that category.
Love it.
There is no point really aside from having fun.
Yeah. And you you learn voting and you learn the image search.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I mean, there's some learning. There's some learning, but I'm saying, like, once you already know how to use those features, I'm talking about teams who, you know, meet online a lot, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's just an easy one to pull up and usually get some laughs.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well, thank you. So first of all, thank you so much, Lila, for coming on and, you know, talking us through kind of the creation for these and, you know, inspiration. Thank you to my teammates at Mural. I'm going to be mindful of your time as well and let you guys go if you have other meetings to attend to. And for those of you who are joining us from the audience, thank you for your feedback if you've already left that. If not, definitely please feel free to drop that in because we use it and take it to heart. But we do have this webinar every Friday, same time, same place, and the topic changes every week. So we try and promote that, what the topic's going to be a couple days before so you know. But if there's something you want to see from us, definitely let us know. But otherwise, have a wonderful weekend. And now I hope you know how to bring the energy into your own meetings.